don't be afraid to go on offense. There is no more critical time than now to devote everything we have to the protection of the unborn. Sadly, the Democratic Party has been taken over by pro-abortion radicals. The party that once stood for the little guy has abandoned the unborn and vulnerable women.
Oh,
What?
I don't know.
What is even her point there? Once stood for the little guy?
Yeah.
When did the Democratic Party stand for the little guy?
I think, okay, this is the kind of pandering we're talking about. It's like,
Yeah.
you got to build a big tent, and so you just pander as hard as you possibly can.
Yeah.
I don't know what fictional Democratic Party she's talking about here, but obviously it's just to appeal to leftists, and for some reason they think that this is going to be a convincing pitch. Like, if we just compliment you, if we flatter you, if we try to get you to think, oh yes, now we are the ones for equality because we're using that word and stuff like that. We'll use your buzzwords or whatever. And equalities, that's a fine word. Whatever. There's nothing wrong with the word equality, but
Yeah.
the pandering is the whole idea here. That's like the strategy. It's like, we have to be soft. We have to build this big tent. And then she's even saying things like, if you boldly advocate for truth. But that's not what she's doing.
Yeah.
Like, she is doing the exact opposite in everything she's saying here, but acting like somehow she's advocating for the truth.
Yep.
First, it became the party of safe, legal, and rare. But now they've dropped that mask as well.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who has become the party of safe, legal, and rare?
Yeah.
Right? The Republican Party has become the party of safe, legal, and rare.
Yeah.
And as we'll get into it, later in this episode, the Republican Party is literally, and a lot of the pro-life organizations, literally treat abortion like healthcare. Mm-hmm. And they speak about regulating it as if it were healthcare.
Yeah.
And that's how you cement in people's minds the fact that it is healthcare. Mm-hmm. And that's the fruit of not keeping the main thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Republican Party is basically the party right now of safe, legal, and rare abortion. Just make it a little bit safer and a little bit rarer.
Yeah. And it is a dramatic shift, cultural shift, that the mainstream pro-life organizations are advocating for what she said, the Democratic Party's old stance.
Yep.
Like, she is trying to say common sense abortion restrictions. That's the thing that she said throughout all this video, and this is how they're building their big tent. This is how they're getting life to be a winning issue again. It's really not making it a winning issue at all. She is just making it so that more people who are nowhere near consistent on this are actually coming in and believing what she's saying. But what she's saying isn't going to do any good for preborn babies.
What she means by winning issue is very important. It doesn't mean that we're actually creating a culture where there's more people who think abortion's murder and ought to be abolished. When she says abortion's a winning issue, she means the Republicans feel more comfortable speaking about it and running on a pro-life platform. That's what she means by a winning issue. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, does that help pro-life Republicans get elected? Absolutely. Does that get us closer to abolishing abortion? Not necessarily. Mm-hmm. In some cases, it actually hinders us from being able to abolish abortion.
And that's how they measure their success as well. It's like, if people agree that there should be restrictions on abortion, they sort of count those as pro-lifers. I remember Students for Life, it's probably 2 years ago, they sent out an email about a student who had changed their mind. And their basis for saying that they changed their mind was they went from saying that all abortion was acceptable to saying that they believed that there should be some restrictions on abortion afterwards. And so that's how they were counting mind changes. Other organizations aren't like that. They don't believe that. They're like, created equal, if they count a mind change, that means the person went from believing abortion was acceptable in any case to believing it's always unacceptable. But people like Mallory Quigley here, I think that's the standard they're operating from. It's people who will accept some kinds of restrictions.
That's what it means to be a pro-lifer, to think that abortion should be regulated to a certain degree. Mm-hmm. To what degree doesn't really matter, but if you think if you're not an extremist, then you're a pro-lifer. And that's the strategy. Mm-hmm. Get people to identify with the movement without believing that abortion is even the killing of an image bearer of God, or even a human being. It's a very short-sighted strategy, this entire thing.
Yeah.